welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and support your girl. And okay, we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, so beginning of the story. Okay, I'm not really sure like where to start or like how to start it, but let's start with how I got the job. And first of all, I just want to mention that I'm not gonna mention the name or his name because I don't even want him to get like clout or like known, because he just doesn't deserve it. And I feel bad for saying it because I'm not like a shady type of person, but it's like, dang, like he really treats his employees like for real. Anyways, so this started back in maybe like last year of 2020. Wait, did it start in 2020? So yeah, so we're just gonna talk about how I got the job and you know this and that. Again, I want to mention that I'm not gonna mention his name. I'll probably change his name to something else, but I'm not gonna mention the name of the pharmacy or any other employees because I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble or something. But yeah, like, and he doesn't deserve the clout because he's just whatever. Anyway, so I got the job last year around March, and it's funny because we're in March right now and March 11th, and I think I actually got the job the 18th. Maybe around like 2019, around like December, I was working at Macy's. And but it was a temporary position, so I ended up finishing around like January. So then around that time, you know, I still had money left over and I was still going to school, so I was like, okay, like I have money left over. I don't really have to be like looking for a job right now. So I was kind of like really settled in at the time. But maybe around like when it got to like March, I was like, okay, I'm becoming broke now. It's time to look for a job. So then, and then, you know, everything with COVID and everything. So it was becoming like a lot more difficult to like actually look for a job because everything was closing down at the time. So, but yeah, so then finally my best friend of mine, she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, guess where I'm working at a pharmacy. I was like, dang, I was like, that's so good. I was like, good for you. I was like, I'm so happy, blah blah blah. And I was like, dang, I was like, can you let me know if there's any openings? And she was like, yeah, like I'll let you know if there's any openings. This is where I messed up. I should have like stayed my ass away from that fucking pharmacy, bro. So whatever, then she's like, yeah, there's like an opening, blah blah blah. Okay, so whatever. So yeah, so I was just telling her, I was like, hey, I was like, let me know if there's any openings, like, because, you know, like, I feel like working at a pharmacy is pretty cool. Although me personally, I don't have any experience. I've just been working in like warehouses and like retail and stuff like that. So that's my background with like work history. So I've never worked like with medicine or anything, or you know, with like customers and medicine. So, you know, but I was like, fuck it, like I'm the type of person that like, even though I don't have experience, like, hey, like I will show you I have good work ethic. So like and what was it? So yeah, so I just kept telling her, I was like, hey, I was like, just let me know if there's an opening, whatever, blah blah. So one day she came to me and she was like, hey, she's like, there's an opening, some girl like just quit. And I was like, that's kind of weird. I was like, why did she quit? And then she was like, oh, because she found out that like this and that, I don't know, something happened. I really don't remember, but she was just like, there's an opening. So I was like, okay. I was like, here's my resume, here's my email, my phone number. I was like, give him everything. I was like, here's all my information, like give it to him. I really, really want this job, blah blah blah. Again, this is where I messed up because I just should have stayed as far as I could from that job. But yeah, so whatever, I sent my best friend like all my stuff. So whatever, so I sent my friend my resume to give to him, and then he ended up reaching out to me and he was like, hey, this is my email. He was like, you can reach me here, blah blah blah. And he was like, send me like other information, like documents, whatever. So then we like whatever, at the end he wanted, after all the information was like, you know, confirmed with him, he was like, okay, he's like, I really want to get to know you more, let's get you in for like an in-person interview. So I was like okay. Oh my god, dude, this is where I should have just stayed away. Like I really should. So whatever. So then I go in for the interview, whatever. I walk in the pharmacy. It's not really like a huge pharmacy. So whatever, I walk in and I'm like, hey, like I'm here for my interview, whatever. He saw me and he was like smiling, and then I was like, okay. I was like, I guess that's a good sign, like whatever. And whatever, he takes me to the back. Mind you, this room, oh my god, this sounds really bad the way I'm putting it, but like this is really what it was. Like, he didn't even take me to like an office. I don't know, maybe I think he just got the pharmacy, because everything was like in boxes still. I don't know, like everything was just like weird. Like the office wasn't even office, it was just like a room. Like everything was plain, there was nothing on the walls. There was just like a desk and like a chair, but like the chair, the ones that you get like when you have a barbecue outside in your backyard, those type of chairs, like those foldable chairs. It was just like a little table and that chair and another chair for me. Whatever. I know it sounds so bad, but I'm telling you, this is like another red flag where I should just be like, bruh, goodbye. Whatever. So then he's like talking to me. He's like, I really like your resume. He's like, it sounds like you have like really good work ethic. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you do. I was like, I love communicating. I have good writing skills, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, you know, I'm trying to make myself like sound, you know, nice. And he was like, and on top, he's like, your best friend works here. And I was like, yeah. I was like, she's my best friend. He's like, oh, that's not gonna be a problem, is it? And I was like, no. I was like, we're really not. Like, I'm old enough to be like, you know, work is work, and outside is when you can like talk and like BS with your friends or whatever. So I told him, I was like, I'm really professional. Like, I'm not gonna just like sit around and just like talk to my friend. I was like, I understand that this is a job, so like friend or family, like I feel like I would take it serious no matter what, blah, 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 whatever. And so far I was like doing really good in the interview, whatever. And then he was like, oh, are you okay with like me yelling at you? And then I was like, what? He was like, are you okay with me yelling at you? And then I was like, well, I've been yelled at before. I was like, I've been yelled at before. I was like, so I guess like I'm okay with it. I feel like it just depends, like, you know, what you're yelling about. So we're still in the interview, blah blah blah. And then he was like, and then I started laughing. Like, you know, I feel like me personally, like if I get the other person laughing, I feel more comfortable. So I try to make like cute little professional jokes, of course. So I made like a joke, and then he was like laughing, and then I was laughing, and then he was like, you have a really nice smile. And I was like, okay, thanks. You know, it sounds like he was liking me, so I was like, okay. So I feel like I was feeling like, okay, like I have a good chance of getting this job, like whatever, like I'm good, like I had it in the bag, you know what I mean? Okay, so I think after the interview is when he was like, you know, he's like, I really like your character. I really like, you know, how you speak and how you present yourself. He was like, so why don't you say, you know, you start tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I was like, yeah, like, okay, like I'm down. So I remember getting out of the interview, and then I was telling my best friend everything, because she kept like blowing up my phone, because she was like, oh my god, like how did the interview go, like did you do good, blah blah blah. And then I was like, yeah. I was like, he was saying like these couple things, blah blah blah. And she was like, haha, yeah, he's like that. Red flag. Okay, so cut into my first day, whatever. I understand, like, it's a pharmacy job, blah, 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 whatever. The first day, what got me so, like, annoyed already by this man was that he expected me to know how things work. And I've explained to him, which he saw in my resume before even hiring me, I told him that I have no experience with working with medicine or working with, like just medicine in general. Like, I just don't know, like the freaking names, like I don't know, or I don't know, whatever. Everything was just like a hot freaking mess like that. The first day, like I was just already overwhelmed with like how much shit that I had to do, like so much stuff that I had to do, and which I understood because he had me like, it's a pharmacy. This was on the first freaking day that literally I was organizing the medicine, and then he was like, oh, are you the youngest child of your family? And then I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, I can tell. And then I was like, what? Red flag! Red flag! Again. So yeah, let's just like backtrack to what he said. In my head, I was like, what is that supposed to mean? 2, why did he even say that? 3, that came out of the random, like, whatever. So that was my day 1 of the job. Number 1, I was just very like annoyed with like how he wasn't like showing me anything, and when I would ask questions, that would be like a whole different thing. We're gonna go into like I don't hate people because I feel like hate is such a really strong word, but wow, like I dislike this person like a lot. I feel like this person should just not have the business that he has, and he should not treat his employees the way that he does, and it just makes me feel like so freaking bad. And I'm so grateful that I was able to take myself out of that environment, because it was just so bad. It was so bad. So yeah, I left pretty like annoyed and just really overwhelmed, because I felt like I was really trying my best to like learn as much as I could just in that one day, and it was just very overwhelming, and I literally just wanted to cry, but whatever. I was like, okay, it's day 1, I understand. Day 1 is always gonna be like the hardest, because you're just learning like everything and you're being introduced to all these different things. And what I started noticing is that he wasn't putting me to do what needed to be done. You get what I mean? So I was noticing that there was like a bucket full of like medicine that needs to go out to like customers and blah blah blah, and usually like we have to call them to be like, hey, like you have to pick them up, blah blah blah. So I noticed that that was there, blah blah blah. So then I was gonna do it, and like literally like he would take me out and he'll be like, no, he'll be like, what I want you to do is just like organize the store. And I would be like, what do you mean? And he'll be like, just grab the bottles, and he's like, and just put the labels on the front like that. He's like, can you do that for me? Thanks. And then I'll be like, what? Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. So I do that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm like, do you want me to call the customers to come pick up the medicine? He'll be like, no. He'll be like, this is what I want you to do. He'll be like, can you get like tape, and can you just like tape the boxes? Oh my god, like I just can't even explain like how he treated me, because it just really like gets me like so annoyed, because that is like my biggest pet peeve, when people like downplay my intelligence. And it's just really frustrating, because like you're trying to prove yourself to this person, and this person is just not even allowing you to like prove it. You get what I mean? Like so that was another thing that I was noticing, that he wasn't like putting me to work. Like he was just making me do like just unnecessary things around the job. And at that point I was really questioning my position in the job, because I was like, why do you even need me here? Like, because like, yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, like shut up, at least your job is easy, like you're getting paid. But it's like, no, like if I'm getting paid, like I want to do something, I want to work, because I know I'm worth more than just freaking doing that. Like, what the fuck? Another thing that would annoy me is that the way he spoke to me, and I cannot like stress this enough. Like, I'm really not being exaggerated. Like, he would literally be like,
you take this, you see that? Then you take this, you do that.
I swear I'm not kidding. I swear I'm not kidding. Oh my god, I wish I was. Yeah, that's how he would like majority 99.9%. I'm not even gonna say 99, I'm gonna say 100%, because that was literally how he approached me every single time to teach me something. So when he would like teach me something, he would like always downplay it to like 2nd grade level of like vocabulary to me, and I never understood why. And I'm telling you, from like day 1, I think he always had something against me. I just don't get what it was. In the beginning, going back to like the interview, like everything was like fine, like everything was like okay, cool. And then like day 1, he hits me with, oh, are you the youngest of your family? And then he hits me with, oh, like you put this, and oh, and you put this, oh, and look what it makes. Like literally, that's how he would talk to me, and it would get me like so frustrated, because I just feel like that was just, it wasn't even more of like he was explaining to me. At this point, it was more of like he's disrespecting me, and I don't get, my frustration was, I don't get where was it coming from. So it's just like, it baffles me that this person really took the time to like get to know me, get my information, and hire me, and then treat me the way you do. So it's just like, oh why? Like, oh why? Like, I just felt like every day he was getting more angrier with me, and every day, I just want to mention, like, literally every day I would get out of that job and I would literally like tear up like all the time, every single day. I even think on my first day I did. Yeah, so after dealing with all of that, like that, it was just like so, like, I don't think I've ever dealt with a job this overwhelming, and this job specifically literally had me rethink how I think. You know what I mean? Like, I just remembered, like, literally he would say things to me like, he's like, why do you think the way that you think? He's like, you think so broad. Like, oh my god, like he would literally come at me like every single day, like how I think or how I carry myself. Like, I don't know, it was just like super weird. Like, it just felt like he was just trying to change me. He was trying to, like, I don't know, like box me. Like, I don't know, like I just really don't know. But overall, it was literally like the worst job ever that I could have ever applied for. Cutting to my last day that I was there, I literally had it. I think he would just get like whatever, like literally he would just get frustrated with at this point. I was rethinking who I was at that point. I was like so into my head. Like, I had so much anxiety. I was literally entering like a depressive state, and it's just so sad. Like, it's just it was very weird. It was very weird and sad for me at the time because it was just like a hot mess. But yeah, so overall, like, speaking like about like him in general, like, I don't know what it was, but like he really did have something against me. He didn't like when I asked questions about the job. Like, he didn't like me asking for help. He didn't want anybody to help me. He would literally like set me up to fail. He would get frustrated when I don't know, like he would just get frustrated every time I would ask for help. He would get frustrated the way I would talk. He would get frustrated the way I would like do things. I don't know, it was just like super weird. I have no idea what this man had against me. So cutting into you know, my last day, I remember specifically, you know, the whole day went regular, and it was literally right before I was about to clock out. Maybe like, I think it was like 20 minutes before we were all supposed to clock out. Like, all the employees were supposed to clock out. Mind you, there's only like 5 of us there. I told you, the pharmacy is like super small. 20 minutes before like clocking out and this and that, I asked him a question, and he became like frustrated and angry at me, and he was like, why do you do things? Why are you asking these? He would be like, why are you asking these dumb questions? And I'm like, I literally just asked you, do you want me to take this box outside to throw it out, which we do every freaking shift. Like, that's literally what I asked him. I was like, do you want me to take this box? Like, I swear, like, if you guys know me, like, I'm not like a shady type of person, so I was literally coming to him like so like nice every time. Like, I'm not a disrespectful person like at all. So I would literally be like, I'd be like, do you want me to take these boxes out? I'm like, because, you know, it's getting cluttered in here. I'll be like, do you want me to take them out? And he'll be like, did I ask you to throw them out? I would be like, yo, like in my head, obviously, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? I would be like, what? Like, what is your deal? Like, I asked him, do you want me to go throw this out? And then he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. He was like, just go throw them out. He's like, whatever. He's like, do whatever, Emily. And then I was like, okay. Like, at this point, I was just like so confused, because I was like, the whole day I felt like I did really good. Like, I was feeling so good about myself. And literally he hits me with this sentence, and he's like,
I really hope you get good grades. He was like, I really hope you get A's in school.
And oh my god, I can't even explain like how that really made me feel, because I feel like those exact words were really like the last straw for me, when he was like, I really hope you do good in school. Like, I really hope you get A's in school. Like, that was really like the iceberg for me. And I remember he said it and he walked away from me, and I remember going outside and I was just bawling my eyes out. Like I was literally like bawling my eyes out because I was like I can't anymore. Like, and if I tell you guys, I was only working there for 5 days, and look how much he was literally damaging me as a person mentally, like so much mentally. Like it was just so disgusting. Like, and then after he like said those freaking words, I was literally like outside bawling my eyes out, whatever, and I just sucked it up and I went back inside and whatever, I clocked out. And that was the last day I clocked out. And I literally, call me unprofessional, but I literally couldn't take it anymore. I got home and I started bawling my eyes out. I was explaining to my mom and my dad and my sister, everyone, like what was happening, how he was making me feel. And everyone's like, yeah, like we've been seeing you so sad, blah blah. And finally I texted him and I was like, hey, like I can't do this anymore. Like you treat your employees incredibly like ridiculous. Like it's, oh my god, like he wouldn't even give us breaks sometimes, and we would be working from like the morning to like freaking 7. Oh my god, like I can't like I can't. I hate even talking about it because it's just like it's so annoying. But no, yeah, so that's, I sent him a text and I was like, I quit, dude, because like you're just so toxic. Like it's incredible. Like people really think like managers can't be toxic, but they can. Like they could really like affect you mentally and do so much damage to you. Like it's incredible. And it's incredible like how much damage he was already causing in 5 days. Like that's insane. Imagine if I would have stayed there this whole time. I would not be the person I would be today. But yeah, that was the story. I really do wish I had the text messages as to how he spoke to me, but I don't. I deleted them. But yeah, thanks for listening to my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was super crazy for sure. I would never reapply. But overall, I'm just like happy for myself that I was able to take myself out of that situation, because I do not tolerate that at all. The fact that I knew that he was already affecting like my mental health, like I was like, no, whatever. Anyway, so that's the end of that. We're leaving that in the past. I just wanted to mention that because I just feel like it was just like a funny ass story, whatever. I feel like now I think of it as funny, but whatever. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel.